Welcome back to the King's Court, Yu-Gi-Oh players, or should I say attention duelists. So today we're going to be doing a little bit of a different video. Usually, channel member Isaac is the one doing the deck profiles and the locals reports for us. But today I thought I'd give it a shot. So for context, if you watched Isaac's previous video, you know that a few of our friends went to the Pasadena Regionals, where we also know that I believe our good friend got at least in the top 60. I don't remember the exact placing of channel friend Joker, but I know he was in top 60, and I know our channel member Cbit was at least in top 90. So, congrats to them. Glad they got the opportunity. So, we actually didn't go to our locals for Digimon on Saturday because there wasn't enough people. So, we went for Yu-Gi-Oh! And now I decided, you know what, I'll play Yu-Gi-Oh! Today. And I was going to play Earth Machine, but unfortunately cards that I had ordered had not come in yet. And so I decided to play the other deck I felt was ready and strong enough to play, which is Plunder Patrol. So before we get into the deck profile, which I'll also afterwards I'll give matchups and how that went. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and ring the bell for notifications to make sure that you're notified when we upload videos daily. We have noticed that a lot of people are not subscribed, but we get views, so if you can subscribe, it would be nice, but we understand if you can't. Also, I guess leave it down in the comment section below. Do you want to try to get the deck profiles of what our friends played at the regionals for Pasadena? Let us know. Anyway, so I played Plunder Patrol. It was a pretty good matchup date. It was a pretty good deck. I had two opponents basically tell me, what do I side against this deck? Because basically, not a lot of people are familiar with what Plunder Patrol does. And that was to an advantage. As you can tell by the title of this video, we got second place. Sorry, I had to take a drink. There were 4 rounds, and I went X1. I only lost the last round to Rescue Ace. I know I said I was going to go over matchups later. Just thought I'd give that away so we know. But anyway, so let's go over the deck, and then we'll talk about matchups and everything later. So first off, we played 3 copies of Whitebeard the Plunder Patrol Helm. They're all fiends, they're all waters, and I believe we have 2 tuners in the deck. So during your opponent's main turn, either during quick effect, you can special summon 1 Plunder Patrol monster from your extra deck with the same attribute your opponent controls or in their graveyard. And if they do, equip that monster you control to it. If the card is sent from a monster zone or hand to the graveyard, you can activate this effect, special summon 1 Plunder Patrol monster from the deck, except himself. But you can also special summon monsters except for Plunder Patrol for the rest of the turn. This is your combo. This combo is into pretty much everything. That gives you a tuner. This gives you pretty much your ability to go into everything. It extends plays. It creates plays. Easy 3 of, obviously. And 1500. If you have ship and one thing is 2000. Yep, if you have shipyard and this and another card on the seal and so on trap card zone, it's 2000. So it's a pretty good beat stick. Ignore the rarities. Next, we're playing 3 copies of Golden Hair, the newest Plunder Patrol. You can summon another Plunder Patrol monster from your hand or face up on the field to the graveyard. Special summon this card from the hand. If this card's in your graveyard, you can send 1 card from your hand. Discard 1 card from the hand. Special summon this card. But you cannot special summon monsters for the rest of the turn except Plunder Patrol. I will say this right now. Yes, most of the effects do lock you into Plunder Patrols, but that's fine. She's a 1 card Blackbeard, the Link monster, because she can send herself. You summon Amaraj, yada yada yada. I'll explain the interaction now. So my opponent decided to spellbound this in my turn. And so because she was spellbound, I couldn't actually use her, right? Well, I read her effect. And her effect says you can send one other. So you can't send herself to special summon herself, obviously. So I targeted the one that was spellbound to special summon the other one from the hand because I can't tribute or use it for anything. So by sending this one to the grave, I had access to my plays. Pretty good. Next, 3 copies of Bluebeard, the Plunder Patrol Shipwright. If you control the Plunder Patrol, you can special summon it. And then it's a hand. And then if this card is sent from field to hand or monster into the graveyard, discard, draw one. He actually does not lock you into Plunder Patrol, which is really good. This doesn't give you plenty of advantage, especially if you chain it right with certain cards. Yeah. I honestly can't add more to that. It's really good. Next, we're playing 3 copies of Black Eyes, the Plunder Patrol Sea Guide. So, you can target one Plunder Patrol monster in your graveyard, except himself. Special summon this card from your hand, and if you do, add that monster to your hand. Also, you cannot special summon monsters that Plunder Patrol monsters for the rest of the turn. Then, if it's sent from hand or monsters into the grave, you can target a Plunder Patrol that's in the spell and trap card zone, special summon it out. You only use the effect once per turn. So yes, I will say this right now. That is kind of how the deck works. It works about basically it's tagging out, but instead of shuffling in, you just equip. And our last Plunder Patrol monsters are 2 copies of Redbeard, the Plunder Patrol Matey. During your opponent's turn, quick effect, basically it tags out to a ship. And then if this card is sent from hand to field to hand or monster to grave, equip it. So this gives you a ship, and I'll explain why you want to equip. So that's it for our Plunder Patrol monsters. We play a total of 3, 6, 9, 12, 14. You play 14 of the Plunder Patrol monsters. So you play a pretty good ratio. Now, is Plunder Patrol good enough to be a singular deck by itself? Yeah, but I decided to mix with something, and I went for the biggest mix we could, which is, of course, the Adventure Package. So we were playing, of the monsters, we were playing 3 copies of Water Enchantress, and of course 1 copy of Griffin Rider. If you control a token, you can put some of this card from your hand. You can banish this card from your hand or graveyard to add a card that mentions, to add Rite of Eremazier to your hand. And then, if you control Adventure Token, you can place 1 field spell card that mentions Adventure Token from your deck to face up in the field spell zone. You only use each effect, so that's pretty good. And then Griffin Rider, as long as you control Adventure Token, you can special summon this card near the main phase. And if you control Adventure Token, you can negate something by shuffling it back into the deck. I'm not really going to go that far into the Adventure Token stuff, because I'm pretty sure everyone knows what the stuff does already. Sorry, a little out of breath. So we're playing 3 copies of Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. We need hand traps. And then what was good was 3 copies of Nibiru, the Primal Being. This just makes sure you have targets for stuff. This is good for elements and all that. Nibiru, this will make sure that your opponent has a light. So you can use it to get your light ship out. And Ash Blossom is Ash Blossom. Plus, this actually came in handy in 1 game I had, so. Yeah, that's it for the monsters. Pretty standard. I'll say this right now. I main decked pretty much a lot of the interruptions and degeneracy of the deck needs, so I think that's why we won a few of our games, but I'll get on as we continue. Sorry, that was me. 3 copies of Plunder Patrol Shipyard. Again, ignore the mismatching rarities. I haven't got a chance to fix it yet. And 1 copy of Terraforming. So, Shipyard. Plunder Patrol monster you control give 500 attack for each Plunder Patrol card in your spell and trap card zone. You only use each effect of the following effects of the card once per turn. You can discard a card, add a Plunder Patrol card to your hand, except itself. And then this card's in your graveyard. Trigger 1 Plunder Patrol card in your spell and trap card zone. Set this card. If you do, return that card to hand. So this lets you get back your ships, or get back certain cards, yada, yada, yada. It's really good. And then, of course, Terraform is really good. If you have this and Water Enchanters, you can ditch Water Enchanters for this to add Whitebeard. Then use Water Enchantress, banish Water Enchantress to get Rite of Area Mazier. Activate Rite of Area Mazier. Oh, with this you'll add a Whitebeard. Rite of Area Mazier to get the token and Faithful Adventure. You'll discard. You activate the effect of Fatal Adventure to search for a Griffin Rider. And then you'll add it, and you'll discard Whitebeard. On the new chain, you can use Whitebeard's effect to special summon to a turn from the deck. And before you're locked into the Plunder Patrol, you will chain Griffin Rider. So Griffin Rider comes out before, and then the chain will resolve. And you'll get your Plunder Patrol monster out. It's really good. I did that a few times. It was a good bit of chain block. So, and then of course, 2 Rite of Area Maziers, 1 Dracoback, and 1 Fateful Adventure. Because Enchanters can get this back, we don't need to play 3 copies. You only need 1 because this is the Garnet and Garnet. So, yeah. I mean, everybody knows what Rite of Area Mazier does, but if you don't know, if you do not control a adventure token, you special summon the token. And then you do not control Fatal Adventure. You may place it in your spell and trap card zone, and you cannot activate its effects of monster unless they were special summoned on the field. That means you can still link, but if you activate monster effects on the field before you activate Fatal Adventure, you won't work. So there you go. Dracoback equipped to a normal monster, and then you can bounce something once per turn. Pretty good. And then if it's sent from hand or field to the grave, send to the graveyard, you can target 1 adventure token, equip it. And then Faithful Adventure, once per turn, if you control once per turn, the first time monsters would be destroyed by battle if they're equipped with something, they're not destroyed. Obviously, since a lot of our stuff tags on the ships and equips themselves, it means our ships cannot be destroyed by battle in most cases, which is really, really nice. Then you can discard discard a card to then, or you search for a card that mentions adventure token, and then add it to your hand. If you do, send 1 card from your hand to the graveyard. If a monster is normal special summon to your field, you can take 1 equip spell that mentions adventure token for your deck, either add it to hand or equip. Try to go back. Next, we also played. Again, ignore the mismatching rarities. We played 3 copies of Forbidden Droplet. This just gets you out of tough binds. And again, main decking this was actually pretty good. It was able to get over a certain board, then I'll explain that later. And because you can technically send all your stuff, remember, because technically you can send your equips to the grave. You can even send Draco back, and then Draco back will come back. So, pretty good. Everyone knows what Droplets does. But if you don't know, you can send any number of other cards from your hand to the field to the graveyard. Choose that many monsters, effect ones your opponent controls. Their effects are negated, and their attack is halved. And they cannot respond to this card activation with cards of the same original type monster spell trap. Yeah. Pretty good. And our last 2 spells are just double, triple tactics talent. This came in handy so often. You opponent activate a monster effect during your main phase. You get either Pot of Greed, Change of Heart, or Forceful Sentry. Either you draw 2, take control of opponent's monster at the end phase, or you look at their hand, make them shuffle a card back, or discard a card, or shuffle it to the deck. So, yeah, very good. And our trap lineup, we played triple Infinite Impermanence. Better effect Veiler, and if your opponent doesn't have the cross out plus a copy of the banish, you have a negation. And then our last trap was Plunder Patrol Booty. We have found the booty. Booty. You have no idea how often this is a joke with this card. Anyway, so basically this card is you declare 1 attribute, target a face-up monster your opponent controls. They become that attribute. You leave the field. Then you can take 1 Plunder Patrol monster from your graveyard. Either you special summon it or you shuffle it to the deck. You can use the effect once per turn. If you control no Plunder Patrol monsters, send this card to the graveyard. You only want to use it when you do. So you can target something that's making a light, and then they can't control it. And then you go into your ships. Alright, that was the main deck. I believe this was 41 cards. So I think, yeah, and I did really well with it. Like I said, I'll explain the matchups after this. So next we'll do the extra deck. So first we play 3 copies of Plunder Patrol Captain Blackbeard. 2 monsters, including a Plunder Patrol card. Quick effect, you can trigger 1 effect monster your opponent controls. Special summon 1 Plunder Patrol monster from your extra deck with the same attribute as a monster your opponent controls or is in their graveyard. And if you do, equip that target to it. Then draw 1 card. You can only use the effect of Blackbeard once per turn. That doesn't lock you in. That's good. Because you give your opponent stuff all the time, it's probably what you want to do. And yeah, this is really good. It's probably one of the best cards of the deck because the ability just to draw cards. It can get ashed, and I'll say that's the biggest thing of the deck is that a lot of their cards can get ashed, and I'll explain that in a sec. And then once Salamander get All Mirage, because if you have to normal summon Golden Hair, this All Mirage actually will get you into Blackbeard. Next, 2 copies of Plunder Patrol ship list. So we do technically fuse without fusing. So 2 Plunder Patrol monsters to make. During the main phase, you can special summon 1 Plunder Patrol monster that is equipped from your hand, or is equipped as a face-up spell zone. And then when your opponent special summons activates a monster effect, you can discard a Plunder Patrol monster from your hand, a Plunder Patrol card from your hand, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy it. Then, if this card is equipped with a Plunder Patrol card, you can add 1 Plunder Patrol monster card from your deck to your hand. Yeah, so here's the problem. You need a Plunder Patrol card to activate the effect to negate, and then if you have to finish the search. Which means if your opponent ashes this, they ash the entire negation effect, which I don't like, but it's what happens. It's one of your best cards. Next, the one of the new card, Plunder Patrol ship Jord. 1 tutor plus 1 non-tuner. If your opponent special summons a monster, except during the damage step, or monsters, you can add 1 Plunder Patrol card from your deck to your hand. Then, if this card is equipped with a Plunder Patrol card, you can special summon 1 Plunder Patrol monster from your deck. Yeah. Then you can target 1 card, Plunder Patrol card in your graveyard, add to your hand, and if you do, place this card in your Pendulum Zone. So yes, we do have a Pendulum card. It's a 1 scale. So what does it do in Pendulum Zone? You can declare 1 attribute, then return this card to the extra deck, and if you do, special summon 1 Plunder Patrol token. Fiend, level 4, attack 0/0. With that attribute to both players' fields in defense position, you can only use the effect of Plunder Patrol ship Jord once per turn. So basically, you can declare. So basically, you'll special summon, put in the Pendulum Zone, and then you'll be able to declare light. And then a lot of your ships just go into. Then you go into your ships. Next, we play 2 copies of Plunder Patrol ship Braun. So all your other fiends gain 500. It in itself does not gain 500, which is kind of unfortunate, but it's okay. Then you can discard 1 Plunder Patrol card, then target 1 spell trap your opponent controls, banish it. Then you can add 1 Plunder Patrol monster from your deck to your hand. This is a quick effect if this card is equipped with a Plunder Patrol card. I don't like that it has to have that distinction, but it's fine, I guess. Then we play. So basically, with this and Plunder Patrol Shipyard, your ships get beefy. We're talking, where's the beef? We're talking double quarter pounder beef in here. Then we play 1 copy of Adamancipator Resin Dragite. During my phase, you can extra top card your deck. If you do, return a number of cards your opponent's controls to the field hand to the number of excavated rock monsters. Doesn't matter. The only card you care about is that if there is a water monster in your graveyard, you can negate a spell or trap. And since most of your deck is water, you're going to have that effect active in most cases. Next, I call it the Toad package because we play one copy of Bahamut Shark and one copy of Totally Awesome. If you can get to 2 level 4s on the field without you locking yourself, this is the best way to get. This is probably one of the best cards to go into. This will always get itself back, and you can do something very interesting. I'll mention that. I'll explain it now. Yeah, I'll get to it in a sec. So, next, 2 copies of Plunder Patrol Ship Mowork. Of course, level 4 monsters. You can discard 1 Plunder Patrol card from your hand, or discard 1 Plunder Patrol card. Target 1 effect monster your opponent controls, banish it. Then you can add 1 Plunder Patrol spell or trap from your deck to your hand. Then, this is a quick effect if it's equipped with a Plunder Patrol card. You only use this effect of Plunder Patrol Ship Mowork once per turn. And if Plunder Patrol monster cards were to be destroyed by battle card effect, you can attach one to your own instead. So it basically saves your whole field. Again, has the distinction and can be ashed, but unfortunately that's how all the ships work. But because only Mowork and Brawn have if you have an equip, it's a quick effect. It basically means that at least your list can always go through if you have the cards. And our final card is 1 copy of Divine Arsenal AA Zeus Sky Thunder. So, once per turn, if an Xyz monster battled this turn, you can also Xyz summon Divine Arsenal Zeus by using that Xyz monster you control. One Xyz monster you control as a material, transfer materials, and then quick effect detach to send every other card on the field to the graveyard. And then once per turn, if a card is destroyed by battle by one card effect, you can attach 1 card from your deck as material. Sorry, I spoke a little too fast. Basically, something's destroyed, you can attach a material. So, the interaction I had was I had Bahamut Shark on the field, and before I was still in main phase. I was gonna summon Toad, right? So I decided first, wait, I'm gonna swing. Then summon Toad, because you cannot I should probably summon what Bahamut Shark does. 2 level 4 water monsters. Once per turn, you can detach 1 material from this card. Special summon 1 rank 3 or lower water Xyz monster from your extra deck. This card cannot attack for the rest of the turn. It doesn't. No, that's not. This card cannot attack the turn you can use this effect. This card cannot attack for the rest of the turn. So you can attack and then do it. So use the effect, summon Toad, and then we brought out Zeus. Yeah. That was the play, and that's kind of how we won a lot of our games, actually. Well, we didn't. Actually, that's a lie. We only won 1 game using that effect. Alright, so 15 card extra, as is standard. And now let's go ahead and talk about our side deck. Excuse me. So first off, 1 Dogoron, 2 Jizikirus. Do you notice the elements? Fire, light, that's our 2 big ships we want to go into. We always want to give ourselves a bigger kaiju, so giving your opponent Dogoron is not bad. 3 copies of Cosmic Cyclone. This would be something else, but right now this is what I had. 2 copies of Lightning Storm. 1 Raigeki. This should be Feather Duster, but I just didn't have it in time. Then triple Dimensional Barrier and triple Evenly Matched. That was our side deck, and it came in clutch a couple times. Alrighty, so that was the deck. So now we're going to explain the matchups we had, what happened, and overall, what I played this deck again in our locals. Alright, so, round 1. So round 1 was against Photon Galaxy. They proceeded to make a decent board. But as they were making board, I opened up double Nibiru, Ash Blossom, I think Tactics, and Golden Hair. Not good, but because we Nibiru'd them twice, we were able to go off. Or we were able to survive. Then, second turn, made something. They came back, kept special summoning. Nibiru'd them again, so that's twice. And then Ash Blossom, an effect that allowed them to try to game me, and they were like, okay, I scoop. Game 2, they spellbound the Golden Hair, made field, brought out Griffin Rider, used Griffin Rider, and then they played sales tax on Griffin Rider, but I had Ashen and Perm on their cards, and so they were like Ice Cube at that point. Game 2, I played against Madolche. Of course, played it by channel member Isaac. Vote on Galaxy was 2-0, by the way, so just so you know. Channel member Isaac, I played Madolche, and it was 2-0. Game 1, I went first, made board. He couldn't do much. Game 2, he was making a board. Nib. Yeah, Nib was the reason we got that game. And then he went Zeus, and then I just negated Zeus, so yeah. Game 3 was actually my toughest game, or round 3, because round 3 was against tier limits. And so I was not expecting the matchup. Game 1 was back and forth, grind heavy. At one point, I had in my hand Faithful Adventure and something else. I had not seen a Retiver Mazier, a Water Enchantress the whole game, so I'm like, if it gets milled, whatever. I'm going to discard draw. So I use Bluebeard, I discard it to draw 1, and I've drawn 2. Water Enchantress. My luck, right? And thanks to a few cards, and I had to out a Rhino Heart, a Dragos Tapelia, or no, Rhino Heart, the big one. I think it's Kaleido Heart, I forget the name. The big one, the big fusion they have, Dragos Tapelia, and something else. And a Big Eye, because that's what I made. I proceeded to, they negated something. I took the Big Eye, attempted to take Dragos Tapelia, they negated it, but then I made big board. And won because and then broke the rest of the board, and then they did not see, and then left them with 1 card on field, 2 cards, 1 card in hand to draw, and they were like, I'm just going to give it to you. Game 2 was a back and forth, also really good game. I did nib them, which is fine. And this is where I stalled a little, because I didn't notice we were going at the time. And proceeded to then go Bahamut Shark, swing directly, make Zeus, summon Toad, make Zeus, and end on Griffin Rider, Zeus, Toad, and the ship that tags out. And Blackbeard. Since it was time, we got it, but... And then round 4, played against Rescue Ace and got 2-0'd. Did not see any engine pieces both games. What can you do? So, to answer the question... So, to answer the question, would I play this deck again at locals? Yes. To recommend playing it? Yes. It's actually a very fun deck, and it's very, very intensive. It makes you want to think about how your opponent's interaction works, how you interact with them. And I legitimately, like I said, I had multiple opponents say this the entire day. What do I side against you? Because you don't really okay, they go D-Barrier. Unless they don't know what to do, they'll just call like Exceeds. Well, I'm not making my worker Toad that to get at that turn. They call Fusion. Yeah, it sucks I don't have lists, but okay. They go Synchro. Okay, well, sucks. And the best part is because he's a tuner, they probably will predict Synchro, which is really good. Changes I'd make. You can also run a Runic package instead of the Adventure package. I'll test that and see how I like it. Other than that, I would probably maybe switch out a Cosmic Cyclone for either Cosmic Cyclones for Slumber and another Dogoron, or I'd keep it in, but I'll switch Raigeki for Harpies. The problem is also you can't run like some of the other Floodgates. You really can't run Anti-Spell, you really can't run Goes, and you can't run a Rivalry. Because the Adventure package will require you to have a Fairy and a Wing Beast. Sucks. And you're all about different elements, so Goes and actually hurts you. So, overall, this is a good deck. I really like it. Yeah. Let me know what you guys think down below about this deck profile. Would you play Plunder Patrol? Would you try Plunder Patrol? And let us know what you want to see next. This has been Michael of the Golden State Kings, And I'll see y'all next time. Peace.